Hollywood lied to you. For decades, the Western genre has sold us myths. Legends of noble gunslingers, perfect duels, and towns that look more like movie sets than history. But what if I told you most of it was pure fiction? What if the true West was far more brutal, far more complicated, and far more fascinating than anything John Wayne ever wrote into? Today, we're shattering the myths and revealing the 10 most historically accurate Westerns ever made. The Western you've never heard of, but one you'll never forget. Forget the gunslinger riding off into the sunset. Forget the saloons, the duels, the swagger. It follows Mary B. Cuddy, a woman deemed too plain to marry, yet too strong to break, tasked with an impossible mission to transport 3 women driven mad by the harshness of frontier life. Their crime? Succumbing to the merciless land that demanded everything and offered nothing. The movie is all about survival and the cost of compassion in a world that has none. This isn't a typical Western hero's journey. Rather, it's survival in its most ruthless form. And the enemy isn't a gunslinger, it's the land itself. Merciless, indifferent, and all-consuming. Survival on the frontier was merciless, but not all battles were fought in silence. Some were waged with bullets, blood, and unbreakable wills. If you thought the Homesman was brutal, wait until you see the West through the eyes of men who lived and died by their code. This is a film that doesn't just show the West, it breathes it. It's raw, unforgiving, dirt on your skin, sweat in your eyes, the weight of the West pressing down. But it's more than just scenery. Before fences divided the land, before laws claimed ownership, there were free grazers. No boundaries, no borders, just earth and sky. But freedom came at a cost, paid in blood. The fight for land wasn't just about territory, it was about power. And in a lawless land, power belonged to the man who could take it and keep it. Open Range doesn't romanticize the gunfight, it strips it bare. The final shootout is loud, chaotic, brutal. No music, no slow motion, just the deafening roar of gunfire. One of the most intense, unromanticized shootouts in Western cinema. There's no honor, only survival. And in that moment, it's kill or be killed. No. This isn't the Hollywood version of the Oregon Trail. There are no daring gunfights or heroic cowboys. Just fear, fatigue, and the brutal unknown. The film captures the raw reality of westward expansion, the hunger, the exhaustion, the agonizing uncertainty. Every step forward could be their last. This Western portrays cultural tensions with unflinching honesty, showing the delicate balance between survival and prejudice. There's no clear villain, no easy answers. Only desperation. Meek's Cutoff strips away the myths and shows the harsh, unvarnished truth of pioneer life. It's not about conquering the frontier, it's about enduring it. Lost, hopeless, desperate, but some were trapped by more than the land. They were prisoners of their own legend. Fame, obsession, betrayal. Jesse James wasn't just an outlaw. He was a celebrity, a legend built on bloodshed and fear. But behind the myth was a man drowning in paranoia, loneliness, and betrayal. This film doesn't glorify the gunslinger. It reveals the weight of his notoriety, the price of living as a legend. Every glance, every whisper, paranoia was his only companion. And then there's Robert Ford, desperate to be remembered, willing to destroy the hero he once worshipped. This isn't good versus evil. It's a tale of envy, obsession, and innocence lost. The assassination of Jesse James isn't about gunfights or glory. It's about the slow unraveling of a legend and the cowardice it took to end him. This isn't just a revenge story. It's about grit, determination, and the relentless pursuit of what's right, no matter the cost. Historical accuracy shines through its raw portrayal of frontier justice, brutal, unforgiving, and far from heroic. Mattie Ross isn't your typical Western hero. She's young, stubborn, and fearless. In a world ruled by violence, she demands justice and won't stop until she gets it. True grit strips away the romance of the West and shows the harsh reality of vengeance. It's messy, painful, and absolutely relentless. Unyielding determination. Unforgiving justice. But the West was built on more than vengeance. It was built on power, corruption, and control. And no one understood that better than the men who owned the land. It's a story about power, profit, and the brutal reality of capitalism on the frontier. The historical accuracy is chilling, depicting the harsh lives of miners, the corrupt influence of big business, and the cold indifference of frontier towns. There's no glory here, just survival. And in this world, money talks, and mercy is weakness. McCabe and Mrs. Miller shatters the myth of the noble pioneer and shows the West as it truly was: merciless, cold, and unforgiving. Cold, unforgiving, ruthless. But some men didn't just face the harshness of the land. They faced their own demons. Alone, hunted, and desperate to survive. This is a raw, relentless fight against nature, betrayal, and the limits of human endurance. The historical accuracy is savage, depicting the harsh life of frontiersmen, the unforgiving wilderness, and the brutal conflicts with indigenous tribes. Hugh Glass isn't a hero. He's a man driven by revenge, clawing his way back from death, fueled by pain and fury. The Revenant strips survival down to its rawest form. No honor, no justice, just the primal will to live, no matter the cost. This Western isn't about heroics or honor. It's about the brutal consequences of a violent life and the price paid by those who pull the trigger. It's the story of a man scarred by war, hunted by his enemies, searching for peace he'll never find. The historical accuracy is brutal, showing the chaos of post-Civil War America, the violence of guerrilla fighters, and the harsh life of those caught in the crossfire. Josey Wales is no hero. He's an outlaw haunted by his past, guided by a code of honor in a world without mercy. The outlaw Josey Wales is about survival, loyalty, and the search for a place to belong, even when the world wants you dead. Scarred by war, hunted by enemies. But some men became legends not by the gun, but by standing against a world determined to break them. Civilization brought order, but never peace. The West didn't need heroes, it needed survivors. And no film reveals the price of that survival like this one. This isn't just a normal Western. It's a battle for justice, loyalty, and survival in the most lawless town of the West. The historical accuracy is fierce, capturing the tension, the corruption, and the violence that gripped Tombstone. From the open vendetta ride to the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral, it's as real as it gets. Wyatt Earp isn't just a hero. He's a man pushed to his breaking point, fighting for his family, his honor, and his legacy. Tombstone isn't about good versus evil. It's about men who stood their ground and became legends for it. The real Western lovers must have watched this one. So, there you have it, the 10 most historically accurate Westerns ever made. But now the question is, do you agree with this list? Did we get it right? Or did we miss a Western that deserves its place here? Let us know in the comments below. And if you